Anya, it's me, TFR Wilderness. Yeah, I think on my Korean reviews, I'm going to try to remember to do the Korean greeting at the beginning, just to give you an idea, clue you in as to what's coming. Yes, me, TFR Wilderness, bringing to you another KTRT review, and second of this month's KTRT figures that I've bought, which I'm running on the theme of car formers this month. You've already seen that pretty awesome Mini Force X Raybot that I reviewed last week. He's a really, really cool figure and vast improvement on the other Mini Force figures that I bought last year. Now, this figure is from a new toy line from an old show, if that makes any sense. Now, obviously, going back in time, the first and probably one of the biggest sort of Korean robot toy shows that they ever did was from Young Toys called Tobots, and that ran for, I can't remember, it was about 18 or 19 seasons in its original country. But when they say seasons, I mean the way they did seasons is different to the way they do it in the UK. More recently, that show has now been fully dubbed into English, even though they have sort of cut some of the episodes for content slightly. And I think they finished the run on that, and it runs out to 4 seasons. But I've watched it and really enjoyed it. But the Tobot toy line then evolved into Tobot Athlon, and obviously I've watched all 3 seasons of Tobot Athlon and bought a bunch of the toys from it. And then everything went quiet. I mean, there was this period where Tobot Athlon finished, and there was nothing. I mean, Young Toys was this kind of company that they would bring out something new every year, and you get an idea of what was coming next. But at the time, their existing toy lines, which was Geomecha, Captain Dino, and Tobot Athlon Season 3, they just stopped them. And then there was this, like last year, it was almost like 12 to 18 months of there was a good 12 months of silence where we didn't know what was coming next, and it looked like Young Toys had abandoned their transforming robot toy lines. But then back end of last year, news started filtering out about a new Tobot series called Tobot V. And Tobot V is kind of like a soft reboot of the Tobot line. They've rehashed it. They've sort of done away with everything that went before and going with a slightly new direction. And I would say watching it's kind of similar to Hello Carbots, because you've got this little kid and he's got a load of these transforming robots, and he brings them out using these power crystals and this sort of like gun thing, and then he's fighting against this team of bad guys, which are, I suppose, kind of like Team Rocket, and they go around in this giant robotic frog and they just cause mayhem, and he has to sort them out. And they did the first 2 figures, which was brand new figures for this toy line, obviously, because it's a reboot. Then they did Speed, who's like a Le Mans style endurance car, and then you had Monster, who's kind of like an orange monster truck, and then you had Rocket, who's like a kind of like a futuristic space shuttle. And they were the first 3 figures, and then they went on. Then they did the rescue crew, where they used repaints of existing old Tobot molds. They went for Tobot Adventure Y, and he became sort of Rescue Y. Tobot Zero, the wrecker truck, who was from the original Tobot series. He got done up in a red and white colour scheme, and then they had Tobot R, the fire engine, who also got done up, and he became Rescue R. I've got Tobot R, the original one, so I'm thinking of getting Tobot Zero, but we'll have to see about that. Anyway, so that moved on, and then they did other things, and then they did this guy. Now, this is a brand new figure, a character that they bought out. I mean, as the season's gone on, they've introduced new characters, and they seem to have done away with the old ones, which is kind of how Hello Carbots works. I mean, they do the shows with all the new characters in, and all the old characters could just get either forgotten or pushed in the background, and you never see them again, because they're always pushing the latest toy that they've got in the shops. Anyway, so sort of midway through the first season of Tobot V, we get this fellow, and this is Captain Police. And wow, this thing is incredible. It's amazing. But before we get into the toy, quick look at the box. Obviously, it comes with instructions. You got robots to car to robot. It shows you the transformation in both directions. And then we get the box. Slightly different packaging for these guys. You've got this sort of angle bit on the corner. It's got the name down here, and it's got all the pictures, and you've got a picture of the kid, and then you've got all the artwork, the Tobot V logo on the top. So there's a quick look at the box. Quite big, usual sort of Korean packaging. And then we get onto the guy himself, and wow, this thing is amazing. He's like this super sleek, futuristic police car, and the paint on this thing, the paint is unbelievable. The amount of, I mean, virtually everything you see on here, apart from like the black bits, which are moulded black, but I mean, he's got painted wheels, he's got all these blue stripes, all these gold stripes. He's got a tampograph Captain Police logo on the front. It's got all these transparent, police flashing lights. It's got ones on the back, ones on the front, transparent lenses in the front. It's got transparent lenses in the back. It's got moulded exhaust pipes, wing mirrors. It's got a big sort of supercharger engine air intake on the front. Little bull bar on the front with some little flashing lights on the front. Absolutely amazing looking car mode. Incredible, and it's big, it's heavy. It's got these huge detailed wheels, which again, it rolls really well and smoothly, and it's absolutely amazing looking car mode. I love the look of this car mode. It's super futuristic and really a sort of sleek and sporty looking police car, and like a police interceptor. So that's his car mode. Now, being a Tobot, he has a Tokey. So here's his Tokey. It's this little dog thing, like a police dog. But it's actually, it then becomes the Tokey and you get like the dog head there. But you open that out, and then it's, so when the kid does his thing, he gets his gun out, spins a little rotor on the side of the gun, and then it releases the Tokey, and then you see this little dog thing running along, and then the car transforms into the robot mode and blah 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 blah. So we've got that. So yeah, not much more I can say about the car mode really. Only it's amazing looking thing. It's got all these painted lines on it. It's just an incredible looking car. So bright, so colourful, and underneath, it's got a lot of paint underneath. Not too much in the way of robot kibble sticking out, apart from you've got the robot head sort of peeking out a little bit. But yeah, that is the car mode. It's a fantastic looking car mode. So then we start with the transformation. He does have weapon storage. He has his weapon is stored under here. So I just thought I'd throw that in. So let's get on to transformation. A fairly straightforward transformation, as they are with most Korean toys. Right, so where do we start? Now, bring the feet down at the front. Then unclip this piece, and then you take this and then fold it up, and it plugs into there, like so, and bring that down. You then sort of split the legs, pull the gun out, and the gun just opens out, and there you have like a sort of a shotgun style weapon. Now he does have extendable legs. If you look inside, he's got these little things, and the legs slide out, and he has these little heel spurs underneath, which you can bring out like so. Then the shoulders, pull the shoulders out, and you get the arms. They're on this sort of like springy joint, and you sort of fold that round so you've got the back of the car facing forwards, and then you've got the hand, which is inside here, and then you just slide his hand out. Then do the same on the other side. Bring that up, bring his hand out. Then you've got this bit on the top, you sort of just fold it back. Hang on. Then just flatten that down like that. And then you do the final bit with the Tokey. Fold up the Tokey. And then it slots into his chest like so. And then pops his head up. And there we have Captain Police. Hello, Tobot V, Captain Police in his robot mode. And he looks amazing. I mean, I love the sculpt on this guy. I love his head sculpt. He's got like this sort of police captain sort of hat, and he's got some, you know, sort of police shades on, and he looks very sort of purposeful and you know, serious. And he, you know, love the head sculpt. Obviously the dog forms the chest, and he looks amazing. He's got all the coloured lights on his shoulders there. He's got the red lights of his car mode on his shoulders. Got the exhaust pipes there. He's got nice bit of painted detail on his waist. Again, more paint down here. I mean, this thing's just blathered in paint. I mean, out of all the Korean toys I've got, I don't think I've seen a Korean toy with quite as much paint on as this has got. It's not perfect. I mean, there are a few places where the paint lines aren't completely straight. They're a bit sort of ragged and wobbly. But he's a fantastic looking figure. Now, let's get on to the articulate. Well, actually, no. Before we do that, let's look at his weapon. It does have some pegs in the side. And if you look at his hand, you can see he's got some pegs in the side of his hand. So the gun will peg into his hand, like so, and it will quite easily peg into both hands, quite easily. And there you go, there he is, holding his shotgun. And I quite like the fact that he's got a shotgun. I mean, he does use it in the show, but you know, he doesn't actually fire out shotgun blasts. It fires out some sort of energy blast, which does something I can't rightly remember. But you know, he has got a decent amount of articulation, this guy. I think, again, largely due to transformation, but let's go into that quickly. Now, he does have a head rotation. Now, that is a rare thing on a Tobot figure. Usually, Tobots have static heads, so that is a big, 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 big plus. Shoulders. Obviously, you've got the shoulder is on this piece here, but it more or less goes round all the way, but it is slightly fouled by this by the bonnet of the car, which forms his backpack. Now, he does have bicep swivels, and they're on this springy joint. They're very soft. It's got like a 45-degree sort of detent on it. It does have an elbow which doesn't quite go to 90 degrees. And he has got a certain amount of bulk on his shoulders and his forearms, so doing poses where he brings his arms in close to his chest are kind of difficult because of the bulk, especially with you know, this dog head sticking out his chest. So it's a shame you can't, you know, go and salute. He can't quite do it. You know, you can't quite get it up there, but he's still got a decent amount of articulation, more so than the majority of Tobot figures, so you've got to give him that. Nothing at the waist. Hips, he does have these little skirts that flick forwards, back, and a decent spread. You know, they go out that far. No thigh swivels. Does have knees which don't quite go to, well, they don't go to 90 degrees, but they go back so far. And the feet are static, but again they're cut, so he gets a neutral A stance, so that's fine. Yeah, he's again a really, really, really good figure. He looks great. Massive amount of painting detail on this guy. Huge amount of paint. Really good mould. Love the head sculpt. He looks amazing. awesome looking car mode, great looking robot mode, decent amount of meaningful articulation. So he's, in my opinion, out of all the Tobot figures I've got, he's easily the best Tobot figure I own. He's probably one of the best Tobot figures they've ever made. And this Tobot V series, they're bringing out some. They are reusing some old molds, but they're bringing out brand new molds, and some of them look amazing. Like there was a brand new figure that was released just before Christmas. He's called Big Trail, and he's like a big black, sort of semi truck cab type thing. In alt mode, he kind of looks like Nemesis Prime, he looks really cool. I'm going to be looking to get him. He's really expensive at the moment, but he's a two-part combiner with another truck former called Troll. And he kind of looks like, in vehicle mode, he kind of looks like Age of Extinction Hounds truck mode, the Oshkosh military truck. But they combine together to form, Big Troll. But I'm looking to get him, but he's a bit expensive at the moment, so I might be getting him later on. And then they've got Great Admiral, which is this big red sort of spaceship come submersible thing, and he's an absolutely huge ship, and it transforms into this massive robot. And then you got Tank Guy, who's this tank that kind of looks like a T-95, American tank destroyer. There's some really good stuff coming out. I mean, the KTRT market has come alive again. I mean, it went through a slump last year where there wasn't much in the way of new figures coming out. I mean, Young Toys had seemed to have given up, and the Hello Carbot new figures that are coming out were, Hello Carbot, they're producing some right junk these days. And then, the Hello Carbot Dinobot figures came out, Mini-Force X and Tobot V. So things are looking good for the Korean toy market again. It's come alive again. So that's good for me. So before we go, a quick size comparison with Combiner Wars Megs. He's slightly bigger than Combiner Wars Megs, so he's slightly bigger than a What's It. And as he's on the floor, because I'm doing these reviews back to back, let's put him next to the other Carbot I got this month. Let's put him next to Mini-Force Reboot. And as you can see, Reboot is considerably bigger. So that's that. That's my review of Tobot V Captain Police. He is fantastic. He's an amazing figure. He looks incredible in both modes. He's got a decent amount of articulation for a Tobot. Maybe not quite as much as you'd get off your average Transformer, because he hasn't got any waist joint or thigh swivels, But, he has got bicep swivels. He has got a head rotation, which is very rare on Tobot figures. He's a really cool figure. And again, he's a candidate for top bot of the month. So I haven't quite got to my end of month bot haul yet, but it's going to be a really tough month because everything I got this month, nothing sucks. Everything's good. There's no crap. There's no chaff. It's all good stuff. And I'm struggling to come up with my first and worst. But there we go. So that's been my review of that. That's been me, TFR Wilderness, and I will catch you all next time. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Farewell.